Hi everybody, my name's Michelle and I am coming to you from Cheyenne Mountain Zoo, and we have Brooke with us here today, and we are here hanging out with our Rocky Mountain goats. So right here in front we have little Lena. She is our yearling Rocky Mountain goat, and farther in the back, hopefully in a minute, we'll be meeting Yazhi, our superstar, who you may have seen in our Rocky Mountain Goat show in the past. If you've come to visit the zoo, there she is, looking like she's having a lot of fun out in the snow. So, you know, something that not a lot of people know is that our Rocky Mountain goats love the winter time. They really like getting out into the snow and running around, especially Lena. She really likes to run around. She'll even get the zoomies and be running up and down the rocks out there. We have 4 Rocky Mountain goats here at Cheyenne Mountain Zoo. So Yazhi here is pretty easy to tell apart from the rest of the herd because her ears stick straight out to the sides most of the time. And so we like to say she kind of has Yoda ears. And then Lena is of course the smallest one, so she is the easiest to tell due to size. And then Albert is of course the largest one. He's actually 2 to 3 times Lena's size. So he's pretty easy to tell apart as well. And then Twinkie looks a lot like Yazhi, and you can kind of tell who she is through process of elimination. Our Rocky Mountain goats have a really cool barn that we can put them on either side of. So on the other side of the barn, they'll have a really big main yard with lots of rocks to climb up and over. And then on the other side, we have our what we call activity yard. So we can put out really cool enrichment. We can do a training demo out here, and it just gives them a different space to hang out at some days when maybe they've been out in the main yard for a long time. We can switch it up and bring them over here. Now you'll see they do have some rocks to climb on out here as well, because these guys always want to go pretty much as high as they can. So every good goat yard should have lots of climbing rocks. Something that I found really surprising about Rocky Mountain goats when I started working with them is just how incredibly athletic and agile they can be. We have seen Rocky Mountain goats in the wild turn around on something with all 4 feet, something the size of a piece of paper. So they're incredibly athletic. They can also get on top of rocks and stand on inclines that even gravel can't grip onto rocks because the incline is so steep. So these guys can go up and down mountain faces that, you know, regular humans and definitely other animals cannot reach them. So it's incredible to see them clambering around there on the rocks. So wintertime is the best time to be a Rocky Mountain goat. They will grow winter coats that are really thick and fluffy to keep them warm in frigid temperatures. And you guys can see that they have those really cool hooves that are actually split into 2 toes. And so as they're maneuvering over rocks in the mountains, they can kind of pull those 2 toes apart and grip onto the rock, very similar to how your hiking boot would if you're out there hiking. And the bottom of their hooves is kind of spongy, so it grips onto the rock so they can maneuver on steep inclines, icy rocks without any trouble because they are really well adapted for this colder weather. If you can get a chance to look at their eyes close up, you might notice that their pupils are really long and horizontal, so very different than a human's pupil, and that's because these guys are grazers. So out in the wild, they're going to be looking down at the ground while they're eating for most of their day, and so having that extra wide pupil allows them to see what's going on around them a little bit better and know if a predator might be approaching while they're trying to graze out in the field. Thanks for hanging out with us today, guys, at Cheyenne Mountain Zoo and meeting our Rocky Mountain goats.